Hey guys, Civilard here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Mattel Masterverse Masters of the Universe Revelation Mossman. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, as I said before, today we're taking a look at Mossman as he appears, or as he is going to appear, at least in this point of time, in the Masters of the Universe Revelation series coming to Netflix later this month. Kind of excited for it, kind of skeptical about it, gonna be a little bit optimistic because, well, it could be really cool or really lame. We will see. But until then, we have these action figures to talk about, and this is, of course, part of the new Masterverse line brought to us by the fine folks over at Mattel, who will remain fine folks because these were not a pain in the ass to find. However, not so fine folks because I'm getting sick of them cutting corners with this line, and we're going to talk about that, particularly with this guy and the Evil Lyn. I do not have Skeletor and He-Man yet because on this channel we do things bass-ackwards. Shout out to T-Biz for teaching me that flip-flop phrase. I'm gonna use that. We're doing the side hoes first, and then we'll do the main characters eventually, because they're probably all sold out by now. No, maybe not the He-Man. There was like 20,000 of those. But looking at this guy's packaging first, I'm going to move him out of the way. And we're going to talk about this packaging, because I think this is one of the best parts of the line. And I'm not a box guy. I'm not a mitten box guy either. But this packaging is amazing, man. It's fantastic. It's resealable. All you got to do is cut one piece of tape at the top here, and it opens up just like a lunchbox. Or like some kind of lunchbox, mailbox, something like that. I guess more like a mailbox, huh? But you get the Masterverse stuff at the top. It says Mossman there. Get some awesome artwork on the side. And then on the back you get a bio and a picture of Mossman. I don't know. I like this packaging. It's really solid. Really high quality. Nice shelf presence. It's big and chunky. Can take some punishment. I like it. I digs it. And we'll talk about it in the Evil Lyn review because that's probably the only good thing I have to say about that figure. But we'll talk about that when it's her turn. Wow, we zoomed up. We were out a lot there. But looking at Mossman, his accessories first. He comes with a few sets of hands. He comes with this, if I can get him, open set of hands, which is probably what I'm going to display on him. And then these slightly relaxed hands, as I like to call them, the bitch slapping hands. And I will say, I didn't point this out. It's easier to see on this hand. He's got 3 fingers and a thumb. So that's cool. Mixing it up a bit. I like that. Would these be turn your head and cough hands? I don't know. I wouldn't want to. Ooh. And then he comes with this cool looking effect hand, which if you pay attention to the URL, this is the hand I use in the shot. But of course in the beginning I swapped it out for that hand there because this is really heavy, and we'll talk about that in a minute because I am going to swap the hands out for you guys. So taking a look at old Mossman here, kind of gives me a Swamp Thing vibe mixed with Sasquatch, so that's cool. I like that. I believe this figure was sculpted and painted by the 4 Horsemen, who, as far as I'm concerned, can't do much wrong. If it's any wrong done, it's typically the company they're working for cutting corners like Mattel does. Which, yeah, I would say they did here. But we'll get into that. So articulation on this guy, his head does rotate. He's got a bit of a very little tilt. You can look up and down a bit. You can't pop the head off. relatively easy to do. Careful you don't want to snap that peg because it is at an angle, but you can pop the head off easily. There we go. And it looks like Moss Man a little bit. It's a little bit more stylized, but he does have the pointy ears, the kind of Beast Man looking mohawk there. He does have this kind of grassy beard though. He's got the brow, the blank eyes, this open mouth here, which I think I would have preferred some gritting teeth instead, but whatever, that's neither here nor there. Shoulders go out to the side. This one actually goes out about the same, even though it's got this big old tree branch piece or leaf piece sticking off the side there, which I think adds a little bit to the character. But then you can put those back down. You can rotate them. Nice tight shoulders on mine. I know that's probably hit or miss with some people's, but he does have a bicep cut. Double jointed elbow. Decent enough range. He does have a swivel at the wrist and a hinge. And the hands are easy to swap out. Just pop them out by that little peg. But talking about, that's what she said, talking about this effect piece, here's my problem with this. It doesn't feel like it pegs in all the way, and this just flops around in here. Like, what? Look at this. What the hell is that? What is that? I can make an inappropriate joke right now, but I'm going to refrain to doing that. Refrain from, excuse me. But, yeah, this thing sucks. And pretty much is unusable because it's too damn heavy. So, thanks, Mattel. You gave me a useless accessory. You can't put his hand in. Which, this is the hand I'm going to use anyways. I guess it's not that big a deal, but they gave him grip hands. Where the hell is his club? Does he use a club? I don't know, but if he does, he should have come with one. Swapping the only plausible hands in there. Like, if you're not going to give him anything to hold on to, don't give him grip hands, give him fist hands. But that's how I'm displaying mine, I guess. It's really the only way you can display it. Just saying. Torso, limited range. It does tilt, but again, it's limited. And it's got a bit of bobble to it, but not that big a deal. It is kind of annoying, though. You know, it shouldn't be doing that, I don't believe. But whatever, I suppose. It's actually holding the pose. I don't think that's as bad as the Dinobot I looked at a couple of weeks ago. Why is this torso joint a thing? Just make a double ball peg and you will not have this stupid thing going on. That's lazy and stupid. Double ball peg fixes that problem instantly. Might be loose, but it won't do this and feel like you're going to break it eventually. Because some people are probably going to try and twist this. And it does twist a little bit up there, but it doesn't hold the pose, so what's the point? The Skelegod torso joint actually is really solid. This one is not. The waist does rotate, though. That's where you really get your rotation from. Then the hips, this one on mine is super loose. But you can move them out, you can move them forward and back. I mean, it's floppy as all hell, but it works. He's got a thigh cut. Also about the hip, I did have to lube this one up, but since I did that, it works fine now. Double jointed knee, floppy knee. You know, I thought pinless tech was supposed to make stuff tighter. It's not, at least not for these boobs. He's got the double knee. It works. It just is floppy up here, and that sucks. Hinge at the foot, but you get next to no range out of it. And then he's got a swivel. Yeah, 2012 called. They want their shitty Marvel Legends foot joint back. You can't do jack squat with this. Every time you pose this guy, he's going to look like he's taking a shit. So that's useless. He does have peg holes, though. He doesn't need them. He could stand fine because he's got big old, almost frog-looking feet. But I'm just like, Mattel! Stop half-assing it. I don't know why Origins are so good and then these are so not good. I mean, I want to like this because the sculpt and paint is really nice. It's got lots of different greens on it. It's got some really nice sculpt. Looks like a Sasquatch Swamp Thing mashup. I want to like it a lot more than I do, but it's very difficult. Very difficult. And then the torso flop doesn't help because that's just inexcusable as far as I'm concerned. Put a double ball peg in there and that won't happen. But with that being said, let's take a look at some size comparisons. Taking a look at some size comparisons, here is Mossman next to the only other Masterverse figures I have at this current time. Got the very uninteresting Evelyn and the record holder for loosest ankle joints in the history of ankle joints, Scaligod. And yeah, gotta be honest, this line is not off to a good start as far as this channel is concerned. Up next for your MOTU Classic size comparison, here he is next to Shapoopy. I know it's Chakotay, but Shapoopy's more fun to say. And her main squeeze, Lord Mask, who are both from Filmation as far as I know. I don't remember them in 2000X. Would have been cool to see them in that though. But since this is supposed to be a continuation of Filmation, that rhymed, I figured I'd throw these two in there. That and, again, for your MOTU Classic size comparison, these two work quite well. Got a female body, got a male body. And I guess if you want to put this Mossman in there, maybe use him as a 2000X Mossman, maybe, sort of, maybe not. You could do that, I think. And last, but certainly not least, got our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus and the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. So that being said, time to wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and while I feel that this is an aesthetically pleasing figure to look at, it's got a lot of nice sculpt and paint detail about him. The lack of foot articulation and the fact that the one alternate hand with all the vines shooting out of it, the fact that the figure can't really support the weight of that thing, and the fact he comes with grip hands and no club like the vintage figure or most other Mossman figures. And yes, I know this is not supposed to be that, but if he uses a club in the show, he should have came with one, damn it. That just makes me like it less, which sucks, because this is a figure that, as far as I know, was sculpted and painted by Four Horsemen Studios, which, if you know this channel, you know they turn out some really solid work. But I feel like Mattel cock-blocked their good work and put out a average to okay figure as opposed to a stellar, amazing figure, which is unfortunate, because that's not the type of treatment a sculpt and paint job like this deserves. I think this guy should have had rockers. Again, he should have come with his club, or at least something other than grip hands. Fist hands, maybe. Or, you know, better effect pieces that didn't make the arms droop down when you tried to use them. I don't know, I just feel like Mattel is half-assing this line as much as they can, but there are still people out there who are going to like it, and it's going to survive by the skin of its teeth. That's what it feels like to me, because they've been cutting a lot of corners that shouldn't be cut, and nobody seems to really care. In some cases. Not all cases, but some cases. So, we'll get into that more in the Evil Lyn review. So, with that being said, I would recommend this guy. If you're going to keep it in the box, it looks nice. If you're going to stand him on the shelf and not pose it, it looks nice. But if you are going to pose it, well, get ready to look at him constantly having to take a shit, because that's about the only way you can get him to stand up in a dynamic pose. Which is, again, unfortunate, because I don't think that's the kind of pose a figure this awesome looking deserves, but unfortunately it's what we got. Thank you, Mattel. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this passive-aggressive review. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. Again, we're going to be looking at Evil Lyn next. Not sure when we'll look at He-Man and Skeletor. I'm sure those are gone by now. Well, Skeletor anyways, they had like 24 He-Man. I think those will last 2 weeks from now, but I could be wrong. People like to go in and buy multiples for no apparent reason other than to keep other people from having them. So we'll see how that goes come this coming week. It is Sunday as of the time I am posting this. Saturday as of the time I'm recording it. So things could change. They could even get more. I wouldn't hold my breath on that one. But if you haven't already, hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions for all kinds of toy and action figure related stuff. And as always, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this figure. If you like or don't like it, Jones and Ford are going to pass on it. I see this guy as a kind of 50-50 down the middle figure right now. People like it, people don't like it. It's kind of up in the air right now. It's not exactly like He-Man and Skeletor, where there's like a minority that like those and then a majority hates those. Or Evelyn, where everyone praises it, and quite frankly, I think you're all insane. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.